Kissing cousins. What the fuck? So this is Innermost Feelings, which is the sixth episode of Elfin lead. And what happens is that in the prior episode, what happens is that Miu slash Lucy gets kidnapped by Professor Kurosawa, who was Koda and Yuka's college professor. And she managed to get her memory back, and she just cuts his head off. And what happens is Koda actually goes looking for Miu. And what happens is that, he goes out in the rain, looks for her by himself. And then what happens is that his cousin Yuka actually goes with him. And they both go looking for Miu. And then they both end up in a shrine. And they're both like, she's sitting on his lap, and it's always revealed that Yuka has romantic feelings for Koda, and she sits on, and because she's like all cold and wet, he just puts her on his lap, and they hug each other, and she kind of reveals that she had feelings for him, and he feels the same way. And then they kiss each other, and then it's kind of revealed that a long duration happened. So it could be insinuated that it could have been. It could have been a sexual thing, maybe, but I just think that they probably just, bonded, really. But it was kind of controversial. There's really no, purpose in there other than just saying that Yuka had some really serious feelings for Koda. But I really think that the other issue is that, once again, if you're going to go there, you really have to have some really deep feelings and emotions of why you have two cousins kiss. What happened in Yuka's life to make her feel that way towards Koda? Why was she like Penelope yearning for Odysseus? You don't get the reference if in Homer's Odyssey, Penelope was Odysseus's wife. She waited years and years for Odysseus to come back, and she never gave up hope. There's a backstory of, their husband and wife, and it was like, a vow or whatever type of thing to wait, so why was she waiting for so long for Koda? What does Koda mean to her? And I don't think it gets explored in this anime. And then the next part of it is Banto, if I'm saying his name correctly. He heals from surgery, because we don't remember that Lucy actually, cuts his eyes out and just dismembers him. So what happens is that that there's this girl, I think it's Mayu, if I'm saying her name right. I think her name is Mayu. And what happens is that, she's that girl that was sexually assaulted by her parents. She's kind of like that orphan girl. And what happens is that she meets Bato on the beach, and she's glad that he's okay. And then Bato says something like, because you saved my life, I have to do a favor for you. I'm not doing it because you want this. I'm doing it for myself, really. So Bato is still that person that's like, he has a very military mindset, but he's still kind of always about himself. And then what happens is that he's looking for Lucy to kill Lucy to get even. And what happens is that Lucy and Miu's the same person. So Mayu spills the beans and realizes that that he's looking for Miu. And what happens is that Banto beats the hell out of her, and beats her to the point where she's bleeding, and slaps her because she lies to him. And he says something like, I have no problem, killing women and children. I've done that before, really. So she kind of says, okay, well, the exchange is really that I'm calling it my favor, which is that, what, you let it go, really, because she doesn't want to continue being beaten, because she knows she's going to be beaten to death, really. And then what also happens is that I think that there's a professor care. I think Professor Nakamura, if I'm saying, no, Professor Kurama. He's the one that was there when Lucy escaped, and he was also the one taking care of the other Diclonius. I don't remember her name, but what happens is that he reveals that he killed his daughter when she was a baby, and then his wife committed suicide from witnessing him doing that. And he kind of looks all very, very sadistic. And once again, it's really put in there for shock value. So it's kind of almost like that type of thing where it's like, if there was like maybe 20 episodes of the series and explored why he did those things, or why these characters have these messed up backstories instead of just being put there for shock value, it would just be a better series, you know. And I think that that's kind of the issue. I think that this is more of a shock value anime than anything else, really. And it's revealed that the other Diclonius, that the one that Lucy kind of like just severed all of her arms and legs off. Now, just like Banto, she has prosthetics, and she's told by a voice recording from Professor Kurama that she needs to live her own life, really, and he's gonna find her eventually. Just be a good girl, live your own life, get far away as possible. And then, because he didn't want to like euthanize her when he was told to do that. And then the other thing is that Lucy gets her memory back, and it's kind of revealed that her another symptom is that whenever she experiences intense emotion, she'll go back to New. So what happens is that she runs into Yuka and Koda at the shrine, really, and Yuka and Koda don't connect the dots that Lucy is a Diclonius and she has these extrasensory powers. And then Koda clearly suffers from PTSD. Like, what happens is that I think his sister gets killed like 8 years ago, and whenever he remembers it, it puts him in a state of shock, really. And definitely Lucy knows that she killed his sister. It's revealed in later episodes, really. So definitely Lucy has a bunch of like guilt and doesn't think that she's worth it. And I know a bunch of people who have hurt other people, so it's definitely very like empathetic. There's people who hurt people that they love or hurt people that they care about in very, very deep ways, and sometimes there's nothing that you can do but atone, and it's almost like you can't forgive yourself, so you're punishing yourself for your entire life, really. But this episode's really setting up, like, I think last 6 episodes of the show, really, where Banto's trying to kill Lucy. The other Diclonius is trying to come after Lucy and then try to find her own way. Professor Kurama wants to, I think, kill Lucy and then find the Diclonius that she released. Lucy has a mix, really. I think Lucy with her full memory wants to go back to the organization and possibly get even or free other Diclonius. And I also think that on the other side, she wants to live with Koda and Yuka and just have a life together. And the next thing is that I think Koda and Yuka just want to have like a surrogate family with New and with New and Mayu, if I'm saying her name right. And Mayu just wants to be there for her friends, really. So it's kind of setting up, just all these characters towards the end of the series. And it's, as I said, I really think that if you watch Elfin lead, it's a series that I think just really relies on being controversial with excessive violence, excessive nudity. There were some female characters. I think there's like 2 or 3 female characters that had panty shots in this entire episode. So it's definitely made to sexualize the female characters. And then in addition, you have an incestuous angle in it. And it's not done to show deep and meaningful characters. It's definitely just meant to be titillating and then just really, controversial. Because in a lot of, like, stuff, they wouldn't push things that far, really. So I think it just relies on shock value over being an actually, like, insightful anime. I really think that all these characters, if you explore their character depth, this would probably be one of the best anime series ever made. But it falls short of that.